The scene takes place inside of Club Deep during the Elysium of Prince John Stanhope. As Jacob has made his way departing from the presentation used dance floor, Stanhope having called an end to the temporary moment, he nudges on his way Mortimer and one Carlos, and then begins to walk off with a beckoning of hand. Assuming they both follow him, they will. Okay. They will make their way up to the second floor of Club Deep. They will see ahead of them a hallway. On one side is the office within which one Alistair Vestrus works. No idea if he's there or not, and Jacob does not really care enough to try and find out. He simply continues onwards, past it, and steps out onto the walkway, which allows one to view all of the club's first floor down below their feet. The amazing dance floor, the light show beneath, the people milling about, and yes, even those at the bar drinking. Far away, but definitely detectable. And while Jacob is there, he uses heightened senses to sense about, seeing if there is anything abnormal or hidden from natural sight around them. He doesn't find anything, and so waits for the others, with his heightened senses turned back to normal.
Juan Carlos would have followed right behind his Primogen and looked in marvel as he looks down at the dance floor from up above and enjoys the height and the feeling of small superiority over the other ghouls and kindred underneath, who may or may not be doing whatever they do, and looks to his Primogen and to Mortimer and with a huge smile, very happy of what he has done today and waiting for Mortimer to step forward.
That's not flaw-inducing marvel over there, is it?
No, not flaw-inducing. No.
Okay.
Although if someone was fighting down there, I'd be like, what? No, I'm kidding.
Mortimer is right beside one Carlos. He's sort of drinking in the scene too, but he's more interested in what the Toreador Primogen has to talk to them about, since he is.
Did he cut off to you?
Yeah, he did for you too. Yeah.
Okay. I heard
Primogen saying to see what. Yes.
I said he's very eager to see what the Toreador Primogen has to speak to them about, since he's only met with him once, and he left a very good first impression in Mortimer's opinions.
Jacob is sitting there. He leans against the causeway, resting on it, posing almost. Not truly intentionally, but just it comes naturally to him to relax in such situations, leaning backwards against the railway with his eyes darting from down below to those next to him. Once they've both approached, he smiles at them, and first words out of his mouth are, "Very good job."
Gracias. It's all for our clan, of course.
Thank you, my Primogen. But why exactly have you called us here?
Straight to the point. I suppose there's something to be said for brevity. You, Mortimer, why did you make that announcement to the prince just now at Elysium?
That? Well, it seemed like the perfect time.
Perfect time to tell him, or perfect time to be seen telling him?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. I like to try and go for the most interesting story when it comes to my dealings with people.
I can accept that. I can work with it as well. And this matter which you are working upon with him, this accruing influence in the newspapers, am I correct?
Newspapers, television, trying to get a beachhead on the social media, but I'm having no luck there at the moment. Just trying to eliminate any loose threads in the kind community and ensure that the masquerade remains airtight.
Excellent. Very good indeed. And you worry that your chilling presence is going to make this more difficult for you than it may otherwise be?
Well, yes, in this instance. While I was blessed to be in the noble clan Toreador, my condition has locked away some of its benefits. Unlike someone much like yourself or the good Juan Carlos here, mortals do not drink in the awe of naturally being around me. Instead, they are disturbed to be in the presence of such beauty. As if it's too good to be real. He's most likely exaggerating when he says that, too. This is just how he views, like, the mortal reaction to his eerie presence.
Oh, Mortimer. Qué bien, qué maravilloso. You see, he points towards, like, the window near the top of the building, obviously. You see that wind blowing inside.
Mortimer will look and then nod his head at Juan Carlos.
You see that wind carrying beneath the dance floor.
He does look down and notice how some of the ghouls react. Cold wind sort of going by them, and then nods again.
That is not the air conditioning. And he laughs, kind of patting him on the back.
You are a delight, Juan Carlos.
An amusing sort, indeed. You two are going to be a rather refreshing addition to the city. I can see that now.
Thank you, my primogen.
On another matter, as you no doubt heard, I have not yet put forwards a suggestion for Harpy, seeing as I wanted to provide others who have been here longer the opportunity to vie for the position. But so far it seems as if no others are interested, and you are making your way not only into the prince's good graces, but politics in general with a rather, how should we say, subtle grace. What would you think of the position?
Mortimer will sort of look at Juan Carlos for a minute and then back at Jacob Crowley because, just to clarify, was Jacob looking at Mortimer, or was he just sort of generally talking to the both of them?
He looked directly at Mortimer when he said that.
Okay, then in that case...
No, yo. No, yeah. No,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Still,
When Carlos says, "Not me, not me."
so Mortimer will go. Position of Harpy. No, I haven't really given it much thought. It's been so little a time since I first came to this city that I've mostly just been trying to plant my roots, if it were. But I would be honored if I would be allowed this prestigious addition. Anything that I can do to help spread the good grace of noble Clan Toreador would be an honor to me.
Well then, you don't have the position yet. The prince stated that he would like it to be announced in the coming week, and so we will announce it sometime in the coming week. But for now, your position is official, but I'm not going to tell anyone about it for a few more days. See how many of your roots you can plant before they know your position. Keep an eye on who cares.
I shall keep an eye on that Primogen. And I shall.
And, no, please continue.
No, I said, I was just going to end with, and I shall be very detailed with my findings.
I appreciate it. Especially, do not tell Laird that I am giving you this position. It is essential he have no idea until it is announced.
He'll raise an eyebrow at that and then just simply say, the plot thickens. Interesting. Alright, I swear. Laird shall be none the wiser.
Now Jacob does turn to look towards Juan Carlos.
He's been just looking over, leaning just like you have over the walkway. Go ahead.
The same to you, Juan Carlos. Laird knows nothing.
Clan first, mi primatorio.
And you, good sir, well, let me... Clan business first, yes. So, you, Mr. Juan Carlos, seeing as you are putting your blade skills to use, there is a position in the city for you as well, if you're interested, and if the sheriff wants you in that position.
I give my blade for La Camarilla. He nods towards you. I will do so for the clan.
Excellent. And on that note, at some point, you, the lady, Calliope, and myself must have some swordplay. Yes.
He smiles wickedly. Yes, sí, por supuesto. That'd be so much fun.
Excellent.
Mortimer will turn to Juan Carlos and go, I actually have a little bit of sword training myself, although it is a rank novice compared to probably the two of your skills. If you do have this sparring match, would you mind inviting me to spectate? I would love to see such display of the art of swordplay.
Why not join?
I fear that it would be a very anticlimactic story if I was to enter the ring. Like I said, my training is rank novice at best.
Practice, what does the saying? Practice makes perfect. And he smiles at you.
Mortimer will smile back.
I look back at Crawley and you say the date and time. I of course will attend. Well, that's all
No
that.
success, but no botch, thankfully. Let's see, did I roll the right number of dice? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Yes, I did roll the right number of dice.
Dun. What are you doing? Don't hit me.
Jacob was not going to hit you. He will, however, fail to pull from his pocket a card in an anticlimactic show of its own. The oldest of the three Toreador twirls it about in his fingers and slips at the last moment, sending it fluttering clumsily to the ground between the two of them.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll etiquette to not snicker or laugh.
Same here.
Just
What's the
to see
roll?
if I do.
Is it just flat etiquette?
I think maybe appearance etiquette or charisma etiquette. What are the two?
In this case, it's probably charisma etiquette.
Okay, cool. And where's my
So
etiquette
that's
at? There
fine.
it is. Yeah, same here. Oh wait, no, 6. Forgot. Let's see. No specialties or anything. Oh my god! I fucking bust out laughing. I botched.
What's the
I
difficulty?
botched so good.
No, you didn't botch. You just failed because you have one success.
Oh, I did. Okay. I
Just
failed.
standard difficulty of 6.
Okay.
Oh my god. I got 2 successes, but like they're canceled out.
Yeah. And he manages to survive.
Oh, that was too close for comfort.
I laugh so hard. I look at our Primogen, our dear Primogen, and I say, I can't wait for our match.
Jacob will frown over to Juan Carlos and give him one of those wonderful cutting glares.
Yeah, Mortimer is just stone-faced right now.
I look at Mortimer like, huh? Look at that.
All he says is anticlimactic. Indeed.
I go to pick it up for you to show at least a little bit of respect after that outburst, and I hand it back to you. Was this for us or?
Jacob snatches the card, not in an abrupt fashion, but his hand raises up with just that little bit of quickness. Did he use celerity or did he just snatch it?
We may never know.
He didn't use celerity, but he moved quickly and just flicks it up. Nothing fancy this time. And he passes it over to Mortimer. On this card is the name of Robert, and I can never for the life of me figure out how to pronounce his last name, but the only other Toreador in the city, aside from us, Calliope, and the good Anarch, since Joseph Sweeney is no longer among us.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, Mortimer will sort of grimace at that, but it doesn't last too long.
If you are going to be our heartbeat, then it is important you know him. That is the number he provided to me before, so you can try to contact him and see whatever he may have been up to. Will you be needing some help in the fashion of your intrusion, or do you feel Laird's assistance will be enough?
I think keeping a low profile would be good for here. The two of us should be enough. Plus, it is under my belief that in such an instance for mischief, Laird would not be able to resist the opportunity. I'd like to keep this as low-key as possible.
Understandable, and likewise. We all have our secrets to keep, and sometimes information is only useful when given out in piecemeal. Well, that was all for my dramatics did you two have anything you wanted to discuss or ask of your primogen?
Oh, I have but one. Do you, my primogen, know anything to do with Apollo before I go speak to? He looks down at the dance floor to see if he sees Broodmore. Notices he doesn't see him. He's probably off being alone. And says, before I go speak to Senor Broodmore, the Tremere Primogen, I believe.
I know that he was responsible for several of the kindred deaths in the city. I know that he is aligned with the Sabbat who came to us and were later on executed and captured, depending on which of you whom you speak. I know that the Tremere, to this day, unless they have executed them, hold the two prisoners from that, whom may be directly related to Apollo. And I know that Apollo of Corinth is a La Sombra and greatly enjoys a signature of impaling people with giant wooden spikes. Aside from that, and the potential that the Sons of Zeus may be connected to him as well, others would have more information if that is not sufficient.
No, my primogen. Es suficiente. I will go ask Broodmore for more.
Ah, yes. The last known activity of the Sons of Zeus when I was checking in on them some time ago was far in the northern portion of our fair city. Whether that has changed of recent, I'm not sure, since some wonder if they may also be involved in our asylum difficulties. But I am not privy to any recent investigations. This is data from the previous month.
All is good. He looks to Mortimer, and if that is all you need me for, I shall go in peace. Farewell to both of you. As he bows deeply to Crawley and kind of smiles as he leaves, and so towards Mortimer, and he leaves.
Mortimer will smile and bow and say, "Good evening, Juan Carlos."
Hasta luego.
I just have one question myself, my primogen.
Do go on.
What exactly is happening at the asylum? I have heard it mentioned several times, but know virtually nothing about it. All I've heard is that there's potentially a Sabbat cult there.
It is a messy matter. And I do not know exactly how far this is considered. Aside from the fact that the Giovanni came to announce everything on our front door like a child who couldn't wait to show off his first report card.
I must have missed the festivities earlier then.
You did. There is potential for, well, you were brought up among other kindred, I trust.
Yes, I lived in Boston before now, spending my fledgling years alongside my sire.
Huh. Did I ever describe to you what a Methuselah is?
He sort of looks cold at the mention of that and then sort of nods his head, wondering where this is going exactly.
Roll in that perception. Let's see if I can pick up on that little change in demeanor. Oh, now the dice want to be cooperative. Damn you, Juan Carlos!
Nice. Da-da-dun. Okay, what would be the roll to hide his emotions?
Since I am doing a perception for your face, it's just manipulation subterfuge.
Manipulation subterfuge. Alrighty.
Be discreet.
Gotta be
I
discreet.
got. Let's see if you beat my 3 successes.
Mortimer does pretty high manipulation. Let's see, subterfuge. Oh, not the best subterfuge though. So, damn.
You have much to learn, young one.
It's okay. Honorable men don't lie.
So what's the difficulty?
Difficulty is standard 6, because we're just rolling against each other.
Oh, in that case, I know. Even though one of them hasn't loaded yet, that I didn't beat you. I only got.
You have a 6 and an 8 in there, a 4, 3, and a 5. So
Oh yeah, the 8
successes to
didn't
my
load.
3.
There it is.
Quality wins.
Yes, he does. What does he pick up from your express? Is it for just me, or has been frozen?
I feel as though he may be frozen.
Okay. Then we wait for him to return.
Technical difficulties, everyone.
Indeed.
On a side note, I stuttered earlier because I was like, should I say this in Spanish or should I say this? I was like, oh, damn.
That's kind of why botches exist. Thankfully, it wasn't a botch. If it was a botch, he would have flipped and accidentally stabbed you in the eye, violating the lack of harm in Elysium.
Yes.
And he really would have been screwed.
It's alright, you owe me a boon. No kidding. He's probably rejoining the session.
Yeah. If he hasn't noticed, he will soon. If not, I will message him, and then he will know for sure. Oh, look, Mr. Dawkins.
Yeah, I mean,
the rampage. Mm-hmm. I just dropped him out. Now we need only wait for him to return. Welcome back, good sir.
Oh, sorry about that, guys.
no
There was sort
problem,
of like a power surge over here. It knocked out internet for a few minutes.
It's fine, it happens.
Sorry about that. Hold on a second. Get this all set up again. Okay. So, you succeeded in the inside roll.
Yep, you behave as if I got 1 success.
All right. In that case, you're able to glean from his role that he definitely knows about Methuselah's, or at the very least has heard the name used enough to know about what they are and the threat they pose on a very intimate level. Like somebody like he talked to a long time ago, like instilled in him like a natural fear of the Methuselahs, but that's as far as I think the one extends to.
Be scared.
That's more than sufficient. Since he's just getting all of that off of a look, I'm just focusing that down into the impression of, yes, you know what it means, and you very much didn't like when you found out about it.
Yeah.
Jacob is silent, so it is your turn to continue with how you wish to answer his question of yes or no. You know of the term.
As he says, yes, I've heard of the Methuselah before, but as to whether or not what I've heard is more fact than fiction, I don't suppose I'll ever know. Well, hopefully, at least. As he tries to pass it off with humor, as he does a very decent job of hiding up his icy look before.
Well, this is, shall we say, the footnotes of the matter. We fear that there is one waking in the city, and that this one is hungry for that which fiction would have you most fear.
Well, if the color could drain from Mortimer Fitzgerald, it certainly would at that. But seeing as he's already relatively pale, like you'll just see him go really rigid for a minute and then say, that is the asylum problem? Like, why, what, has anything been done about it? As he even, like, stutters in character as his composure just begins to fray.
Jacob will reach over, he will put a hand on Mortimer's shoulder, and I think for this one I kind of do have to roll for, let's see, we'll call this manipulation empathy.
Are you sympathizing with him? What happened?
Yeah. Well, it's he's going trying to
Aw.
calm him down. I figured that's more empathy than subterfuge.
No,
It's definitely not intimidation.
No,
I could
you're
try to intimidate you into calming down, but no.
You're
That would
certainly-
make for a very interesting turn of events.
It would be amusing. It would certainly be amusing. Let me put together what he's saying into words, and then we'll see which of those roles will be more effective.
Okay.
Jacob will put a hand on Mortimer's shoulder, lean in, and he'll have a smile on his features. It's not a toothy grin, it's just a smile. Relax. It is our problem, and we are handling it as only reason could demand. So, what do you think? Do you want me to try roll intimidation for that one, or empathy? How does your character feel on that one?
In this instance, I'd say go with empathy.
Okay, so the same roll I was going to do. Enchanting voice -2 difficulty. Not that it matters, apparently. Because, yeah, you just got swept under the rug, apparently.
You're mesmerized.
Woo! Thank goodness. Well, I'll be able to sleep a little bit better at night now.
Awesome.
You mean in the day? Hunter.
Oh, yeah, right. As Mortimer will just sort of exhale and relax and go, oh, well, thank goodness, I do apologize. It's just I honestly never thought that out of all of the things of fact and fiction, I never really gave the mythology of Methuselah much credit. I always thought it was a little far-fetched, even for Kindred standards, but it's good to know that the Kindred are making a united stance against it. As he'll just infer that's what you meant by everything's going to be alright.
That was an attempt at perception. And Jacob just believes everything you said. If you were lying, he couldn't even tell.
In this instance, I guess Jacob would think that he just smoothed over all the rough patches that happened to Mortimer for a minute.
Mm-hmm. All of them, every little thing, and he's like, well, isn't this guy easy to calm down? I'll have to remember that. He now thinks you're very, very young indeed.
He's not wrong, but...
He takes his hand back, goes back to leaning and looking down. You hear him mumble. He says, such beautiful scurrying rodents, predator and prey, intermingling, and the prey has no idea it's being stalked. He just drifts off there. If you have anything else to say, you can. If you don't say anything else, he's just going to remain there as he is and just enjoy the view of the others downstairs.
Well, he'll take a look down for a moment and then just excuse himself by saying, I'll be in touch, my Primogen. Have a wonderful night.
A wave of hand and a brief nod in Mortimer's direction is his reply.
In that case, he'll politely bow and then head down the stairs. As well, Mr. Crowley's persuasion roll did do a very good job of calming him down for the most part. He is still deeply troubled on the inside about hearing what is going on at the asylum.
And with those troubling thoughts left in others' minds, the scene ends to let them wander about the Elysium in their own fashion.